Hey guys, Billy here. Welcome to the 2K Q&A. This comes out a little bit later than it should have because of long work shifts and album deadlines, so sorry for that, but let's go. Alright, first question comes from Silo Digital. Congrats on 2K, thank you so much, dude. So, what's your favorite weird time signature to write in? Probably 7-8. I like 7-8. Next up is Dry Hands. Hey man. Look at this beautiful vixen. You'll double your subscriber count soon with the sheer sex appeal radiating from your luscious smile. Thank you. What is the favorite instrument in your possession, and what instrument, any instrument at all, would you love to own and play the most? Not necessarily speaking of brand here, but if that is a factor, dozo. Alright, so what I mentioned briefly in the gear tour that I recently did. This again. My favorite instrument that I currently own is this mysterious bass that is either a Wood B6 or a H&K of some sort, or an amalgam between the two. More details on this one in that video. And what instrument would I love to own and play the most? Right now that would be a Dingwall Combustion 2 6-string. That's my dream instrument up there. I hope to save up for one someday, but we'll see. Next question is from Gabe Ocarina 96. Congrats on the 2K, dude. Thank you, man. Who would you consider to be your favorite music composer? Ooh, that's tough. Most of the music I listen to is normally composed by an entire band of people rather than just one. So if I can say that, then probably Gojira right now. And if I have to mention one person, I might as well go into VGM and say Zun, or Jun Jaota. Really enjoying his stuff right now. Matt Tapley asks, if you joined a band, what would you want the band name to be? That's a good question. I think Helsefyr is a word that I think would look really cool as a band name. It's like old Swedish for hell, or helvete, as you would normally say. In this day and age, I'm almost 100% certain that there's a band called that. Haven't checked, but yeah. Also another band name I think would be really cool would be Jörmungand. That's the name of the Midgard serpent from the Old Norse mythology. Probably a band called that as well, but yeah, I think that would be really cool. Toby's Dank Maymays asks, do you do tabs, and can I use your music? Someone's been watching Lil V. No, I don't do tabs, and yes, you can use my music. Credit me though. Next up is Pulpy. You really deserve that 2K subscribers. Thank you very much. My question is, with which instrument did you start? Guitar, bass, drums, others? The first instrument I started playing was drums. That's 9 or 10 years ago now, I think. Then shortly after that, I started plucking around at a bass that we had at home. Same with guitar. My dad used to play both guitar and bass, so we had those instruments at home. So yeah, pretty closely between each other. I didn't pick up guitar and bass seriously for many years after that though. And I guess keyboard popped in somewhere around there. Not sure if it was before guitar or bass, but it's by far the instrument I'm the worst at this point anyways. So yeah, drums, then bass, then guitar, then keyboard would be the accurate way to say it, I guess. And then any auxiliary instruments like ocarina and recorder that I'm terrible at have come after that as well. Jenny Andersson asks, Sikine. Woka-san. Emikun asks, do you have any general practice routines for polymeters, especially for drums, or do you just work on patterns on a need to learn basis for covers? It's definitely the latter of those two. I'll program something down on the computer generally and be like, yeah, that sounds pretty good, man. And then I'll go through the painstaking process of learning to play that on drums. Polymeters are the worst for drums. Next up we have Charles Ritz. Congrats on 2K, man. Thank you so much, dude. My question is nice and simple. What's your favorite cheese? I don't eat dairy products, so this might not be the answer you were hoping for, sorry, but my favorite is this soy mozzarella style thing by Touhou. Ro Ponaganti asks, what is the heaviest song you have ever heard? Good question. The heaviest song I've ever heard would probably have to be Soil the Stillborn by Infant Annihilator. And that's a really intimidating song title, sorry. I'd also have to say Abyssal Mouth by Humanity's Last Breath comes pretty close. Tobias Hansson asks, why are you the way that you are? Well, they say that the people you spend time with influence how you act. Got him! Next up we have David Kung, that's Legend Dave here on YouTube for you. Congrats again, me boy. Thank you very much, me boy. Question, if you could form a band with any 4 anime characters, who would they be and what instruments would they play? Ooh, that's a really good question. I'm gonna imagine this being a metal type band, just for the fun of it. So let's see. How about Ika Musume from Ika Musume on the drums, because she's got a lot of energy and I guess she can use her tentacles to play the drums. That would be really cool. Okabe Rintaro from Steins Gate on the guitar, because he's a math nerd. He could figure out some really cool mathematical polymetric riffs. I guess Jotaro Kujo on vocals, because he's big and gruffy, you know, he could throw down some sick growls and some... And just for good measure, let's throw in Akiyama Mio from K-On! On the bass, because I've seen the way she looks at those 5-string basses in the store. I think that would sound really awesome. Thanks for your question, man. Next up is Ishom Ari Muzaki. Sorry for butchering that name, most likely. Thoughts about Touhou music and fandom, please. I think the music is absolutely fantastic. I'm super impressed that Zun has been able to just pump out this consistently epic music at this huge scale. Like, there's so much Touhou music and it all keeps this signature sound even through all of that. That's super impressive, and most of the music is super duper catchy, so very positively inclined to Touhou music. About the fandom, I personally know some people who are super passionate about Touhou, talking about you, Dry Hands, and Emil, and it's really cool to see this deep burning interest for the series and its lore. Other than that, I don't know that much. I'm in a few Facebook groups dedicated to Touhou, and interestingly enough, I see a lot more of people posting lewd images of their favorite characters rather than discussing the games, so that's a thing, I guess. Nothing inherently wrong with it, but it's interesting that the focus seems to be on that. And finishing this video off is another question by Tobias Hansson. Do you have a professional analysis of the spread and contraction of diseases like ligma? Yeah, I've done some research into that subject. It's a horrible disease, really. Claims way too many victims too early in their lives, and I don't know, I haven't confirmed it, but I think there might be a correlation between the risk of contracting diseases like ligma and the amount of Twitch followers you have. It's insane, really. Alright, that's the last question. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much again for 2K subscribers. That's crazy. And thank you guys so much for leaving your questions. It's been fun. I'll see you again on Saturday with another Touhou cover. And until then, bye guys. I have a question real quick. What's ligma?